Hey guys, Kick10 here, and today we have a special, I don't know if you want to call it indie game or whatever. I guess technically it is kind of indie game. It's also a Half-Life 2 mod, but anyways, today we've got the Stanley Parable. So, let's just start off and jump in with new game. Yeah, chapter 1. So, I guess there's multiple chapters. So, I'm pretty sure there's an intro. So, I'll just show you the intro. I've never seen or played this game before.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor next to his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job.
That's an amazing
Stanley
job.
was happy.
I wish I had that job.
And then
Sounds
one day
amazing.
something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget.
Uh-oh.
He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on a monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and walked out into the hallway.
Okay. Ooh, what's over here? Huh, alright.
Stanley decided to go to the staff lounge to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him.
Oh, not good. Huh. Well, this is pretty interesting. Oh.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I can't make decisions. No. Okay, I'm gonna close my eyes, spin around a bunch of times, and walk forward. Oh, well, I guess I'll just... Yeah, okay, this one. Uh-oh. Alright. Pretty interesting. Whoa. A kitchen. Look at the
Stanley entered the lounge. He was horrified to find not a single person here. He decided he would walk up to see his boss, hoping that he would find an answer there.
Is that pizza? Oh no, those I thought that was pepperoni. Alright, so let's walk up to my boss.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No, Stanley walked downstairs to his boss's office.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, of admitting that he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, was it really worth taking that risk?
Yeah, no, it
All
wasn't.
because he believed everyone had disappeared? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
Oh no.
Everyone I know simply vanishing out of the blue, there's almost no other explanation for it.
Oh boy.
And a nagging fear began to creep up in his mind.
Oh boy.
Questions that had been there all along. He just hadn't put his finger on them yet. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
Oh God.
Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Was he just walking around in circles?
Oh no.
Where am I, he thought.
Uh-oh.
And the more he found himself unable to answer these questions, the more questions continued to arise, until he came to the issue that had been slowly boiling until he could ignore it no longer. Why is there a voice in my head, dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Suddenly, every door slammed shut. "No!" Stanley screamed. "I need to get out of here.
No.
I need to know that there's something out there.
What
I
he
need
said.
to know it's not just all in my head."
Red.
He screamed and clutched at his skull as the voice grew harsher and the music in the background rose higher and higher. And then, moments before collapsing to the ground, Stanley clenched his fists and screamed to anyone who might be listening, "I'm not real! I'm not real! Don't believe any of it! None of it's real!" And then everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Yeah!
Woke up on a day like any other.
Oh,
She got dressed, went to work, clocked in, clocked
that's
out,
a
and then
mad
she walked
theory.
home. But her walk on this day was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Moments after seeing him, she would turn, run to the nearest police station, and call for an ambulance.
Doesn't she have a
But
cell
for
phone?
just a few brief seconds, she merely stood there, unable to move. The tragedy was not the death of a single person.
That's a
It
woman.
was that she would never know this man's story, never hear in his own words what had happened
maybe
to
that
him,
is a woman.
or what he believed had happened to him. For to know these things would be to exist inside the head of the man himself. So all she could do was observe from a distance and
That's
pity
not a
him.
very big distance.
But Mariella had places to be and people to meet with, very important people, whose impressions of her would affect her career and indeed the rest of her life. She stood there for only a moment, looking down at the body, and then she ran.
She's not a very good runner. I'm confused. I died. Alright. Oh, okay, new game. Okay, alright. Well, I guess we'll just skip this. So yeah.
Stanley decided to go to the
Doors
staff lounge
shutting
to check on
behind
his
me.
co-workers.
It's all
He
making
never
sense
functioned
now.
well by himself.
Shut
but
up, voice
constantly
talking
needed
inside
support
my
and
head.
guidance from
I
others,
can
so
understand
the thought of
myself.
total
Thing.
solitude was terrifying to him. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his
Bitch,
left.
please.
This was not the correct way to the employee lounge, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. So he turned left at the first open door and walked back in the right direction.
No! No! Why would Stanley do that?
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
I know, right?
Maybe this is why everyone had left. No one wanted to be around someone as bad at listening as him.
I know.
And since he was walking into the middle of nowhere, and thus ruining the entire story, Stanley decided that he would punish himself.
Whoa, how did you
So
know?
when he came to the elevator and the doors opened, he stepped inside and pushed the button to go up.
Yes, I'm very bad. I should be punished. I'm such a bad rule follower. I deserve to be punished. I'm gonna stick my finger through the bar and it's just gonna get chopped off. Stick. Stick. Oh, there we go. There you go. I'm punishing myself. So, time to punish myself apparently. Whoa, this room. Uh-oh. Oh. Whee!
It almost perplexed Stanley that he had actually gone and stepped into this metal trap.
Whee! Oh.
After all, it should have been no surprise that this thing would lead him to his death.
Oh.
But he thought to himself, this is simply the price to pay for ruining a perfectly good story.
Oh,
So he resigned and willingly accepted his fate, the inevitable end toward which he had spent so long stumbling. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator as he sent his subject down the conveyor belt and into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Uh-oh. Yeah! Oh, wrong way. So apparently... Whee! Oh.
It's a shame, then, that for all his work, it was such a meaningless victory for the narrator. Did he really think he would accomplish anything by murdering this disposable vessel?
Is that my boss? Ooh, I think I'm just gonna go back to my job now. Oh, okay, I guess not. Ooh, more buttons. I'm Stanley. I'm the best person ever at pushing buttons. Ooh, a valve. Okay. Oh, what's that?
Every possible choice Stanley could make had been designed for him long before he ever set
what the
foot
heck?
here. The narrator wanted to kill him. Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start.
Oh no. How do I get out of here? Let him, Huh. Why can't I? Meh. Whoa. Whoa, whoa. Okay, let's look at some of these controls. Combat. Okay. Let's just push every single button here on this keyboard. Why am I so Stanley? Look at the wall.